Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our new edition of Big Brother 25 Live Feed Spoilers. Can you believe that we are only a week and a half away now from the end of this season, which feels like it has been going on since, I don't know, March, April at
It,
this point?
it basically has been. I mean, 100 days is too long. I mean, that's not something we haven't said here.
Yeah,
It's too long. I understand there's no programming happening right now
yeah,
with all the strikes, but like 100 days is too long.
yeah. Like to me, there's a sweet spot here. Like to me, it's important that we get maybe, I don't know, 80,
Yeah.
85 days maybe. I think there's a tipping point where everybody, both I think in the house and outside the house, are like, okay, do we really need to deal with these people anymore? And I think especially after this weekend, we're all in this spot of like, okay, do we really need to deal with these people anymore?
Yeah, I'm kind of over the season. Well, of course, we're going to be here until the wheels fall off.
Yes.
There isn't that much more left, but this weekend was just giving me like Paul vibes,
Uh
Josh vibes, like people just kind of getting mean for no reason.
yeah, like there's some fun stuff we'll talk about here. There's some not fun stuff that we're gonna talk about here, but you know what is gonna be really, really fun? Our live tonight on Patreon. We have a link in the description. It is a Halloween celebration like no other with costumes galore.
Absolutely. You get to see Matt dressed up like a vampire, and I'll be dressed up as a surprise. And it's going to be lots of spooky fun.
Yeah, I am so ready to unleash the undead upon everyone. If you guys thought I was pale after spending all summer inside watching Big Brother 25 live feeds, you have seen nothing yet.
It's going to be really fun, and it's a great way to show your support for what we've been doing here at the channel with Big Brother for all these months,
Yes.
and also just a fun time to like interact with us, ask whatever TV related questions you have, talk about your Halloween stories. It's always a lot of fun. We do have them every week.
Yes.
But yes, this week, happy Halloween, everybody.
I am really looking forward to it, guys.
Yeah.
I'm getting all made up for it. It's gonna be so much fun.
Okay, let's talk about the nominees. Cirie, Felicia, they're the nominees. And Jag, he won the power of veto. Anybody surprised?
I mean, Jag is great at competitions. Like he's done a really good job, and I
Mhm.
know it's always hard to compare people to past house guests, how they competed, because you're up against
Yes.
different people. Seasons are different lengths. Like I,
Mhm.
I, I get that. Hats off to Jag. You won again.
Mhm.
It's made the past couple of days, pretty not eventful though, because there's no way that Jag was going to really seemingly even listen to people. And there weren't a lot of serious conversations about it over most of the weekend because if he uses the veto, Bowie Jane goes up, and
Mhm.
there's no reason or logic why Jag would want Bowie Jane on the block at this point.
No, the three of them are really tight. It's not getting used.
No, Cirie knew that her and Felicia were likely going to stay the nominees, so it's like she didn't really have to do a lot of pitching about any of that sort of stuff. Like, yeah, she had conversations, but she's smart enough to sort of know that nothing is really going to change. Like, nobody's even told her necessarily that, oh, Cirie, you're the target, you're going home. But Cirie's not an idiot. Like, Cirie can figure this out. It's not complicated. She's very aware of what other people think and how other people act around her.
Absolutely.
It's Cirie we're talking about, and it is very hard to lose Cirie from this game, but ultimately Jag already informed Matt that he'd rather get Cirie out. And we've talked all season about how Matt and Cirie have had this bond, but
Mhm.
Matt's response to this, he didn't really put up much of a fight. He was just like, okay, all right, that's fine. Really way to stick to your principles here, Matt, on being aligned with Cirie.
Listen, this is Big Brother. Nobody has principles. This is the house built on lies. Like, it's just the way that it is. Matt can really like Cirie, but Matt not going to win against Cirie. It's unlikely. It's a better shot for him to have her out of the game.
It makes sense to get rid of Cirie over Felicia. Like, however Cirie tries to spin it moving forward, and I'm sure she will think of some good stuff, whether it is, Felicia's story. Maybe she'll
Mhm.
pull out I've already had my opportunity. I've already been on other reality shows. Nobody's going to give me the money. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure Cirie will try something. I don't think it's going to work. Now, here's the thing is that Cirie has done so many really good things this season. Like, I
Mhm.
think her managing to stay close to Matt to the point where Matt really helped to keep the target off of her for an incredibly long time.
Mhm.
She did a lot that was awesome.
Mhm.
She also made some mistakes. So,
Okay, I'm putting on my hard
yeah,
hat
I
here.
this is the thing, everybody. We can be Cirie fans and support Cirie, but also still being like, okay, here's where some things went wrong. Like letting Heisem go, and I know that was Felicia's HOH, but Cirie's influential enough.
Mhm.
I feel like she could have made something else happen at that point. Heisem was a little bit messy, sure, but if Heisem stays, how different is this season? Also, we'd get more Heisem. I love Heisem. I'm still mad that we lost Heisem when we did.
Yeah.
Also, she could have discouraged Matt from saving Jag with that power. Like
Mhm.
she could have done. Like that is the ultimate what if sliding doors moment of this season is Jag being saved at that point. Also, she ultimately let Red go at that particular point.
Yes.
When Red seemed like he was pretty loyal to her. Then okay, last night. This is the one. The other stuff is all kind of like hindsight 2020 stuff. It's hard to really know how everything is going to play out.
Mhm.
But she targeted Felicia briefly in the HOH yesterday. Well, it was on yesterday's show. I have no idea why she did that. It makes no sense at all. Even if you're trying to hide your allegiances, it is the final five. Like that is the one thing Cirie has done that I just no matter what her explanation is, I just don't understand it.
No, she can read the room pretty well, and I'm sure she can tell that the three of them are really, really close. So
Yeah.
then why are you also gonna then target Felicia? Are you going out in like a blaze of glory? Like what is happening?
Here's here's the good news for you, Cirie, is that I think there's a pretty good shot. We're not sitting here trying to like prognosticate America's favorite player, but I think there's a good chance Cirie is. She's got the entire Survivor base, plus like everybody who loved her this season. I think she
Yeah.
is going to be fine when it comes to getting America's support.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, Matt, okay. Over throughout most of the weekend, Jag and Bowie Jane started to get closer. Like they're starting to get more of a final two thing kind of going on now, and they're bonding over how Matt could potentially beat them both. I mean, we can sit here and be like, okay, would Jag beat Matt? I think he probably would, maybe. It's
Oh, I think that Jag beats Matt. I don't think Matt wins against Jag.
I I think you're probably right. I don't know with certain juries. Juries are unpredictable, but
They are.
regardless, they're bonding over it. And here's the other thing is that I'm warning everybody in advance. Riley's ghost is coming back
Oh
twice
my
over the
goodness.
course of this video. And I wish I could say that it was not the case, but this letter from Riley, which we have already deemed was just a really bad move on production's part,
Yes.
it's also kind of distracted him from the game and it's distracted him a little bit from what's going on. I think
Mhm.
it's allowed Bowie, Jane, and Jack to get a little bit closer because they're sort of seeing, what's this thing going on over here? I feel and nobody's explicitly said this. This is kind of a tinfoil hat thing,
Mhm.
but
Mhm. Mhm.
if I'm playing Big Brother and I see a Big Brother player get a letter from somebody who was also in the season that they could have had a showmance, but it didn't. I would think, okay, Matt is obviously the production golden boy at this point. Like he's getting this letter from Ryan. I do not want to sit next to the golden boy for whatever the reasoning may be. That may be bad for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. I would be pretty worried about that.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting if Jag ends up betraying Matt. I think that would be the big dramatic moment in a season where we don't have that many of them left.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think that Jag would beat Matt. But I think he has an even better chance that he's gonna beat Bowie Jane.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that he's probably gonna win this. But anyways, at the veto ceremony today, as I mentioned, Jag not using that veto, Serene Felicia staying on the block. No surprises here. Like he was not gonna use it.
No. Okay. And this leads to obviously Cirie versus Felicia. One of them is going to be going. I mean, pending some sort of, I don't know, Hail Mary last second miracle, it's going to be Cirie. And this is where things get pretty frustrating. Like the past few days, it has been a constant bash fest of, Cirie and Felicia by Jag, Bowie Jane, and Matt. And here's the thing is that I feel like maybe it wasn't as bad the past couple of seasons, but a lot of this sort of stuff has happened before late in the game, and it's never fun to watch. Like I don't like watching it. I don't like talking about it or thinking about it. It seems to be this thing that people really band together by talking smack about other people. It has been a part of the show that has never been fun. Like you mentioned Paul earlier, and
Yes.
Big Brother 19 was one of the worst instances of this where I can remember, where it felt like that was just all they were doing, was just constantly bashing the people who were the targets again and again.
It's just miserable to watch. And, the ideas of like, they're talking about like not letting Felicia sleep to like rattle her. I'm like, she is like 63 years old.
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys doing? Like, just leave it alone. She's going to be by herself in the house. How does this help you? Not only is it like, bad jury management
Yeah.
if she ends up not coming to the end with somebody and she's sitting on that jury and you're the person that's like doing whatever, banging pots and pans and doing all these things. It's just like she's also 63 years old. Like,
Yeah.
this is not, I'm not saying like, oh, someone who's 20 can handle it better, but maybe someone who's 20 can handle it better. I'm almost 50 years old. When I was in my 20s, if I had to deal with somebody keeping me up all night, man, I was able to like get back to sleep, the next day and kind of recoup. Now, like a week ago, I was up until like 1 a.m. And man, it took me like days to get back to sleep. And, I'm not 63, I'm almost 50, but
Mhm.
still the same thing, right? You're going to do. It's so gross. I really, really hate it. I've hated it every single season.
Yeah.
You're doing it just to be mean. Like, it's awful. It's awful. It's just that's where I am with it. If you guys don't agree with me, you go right ahead into the comments. But
Yeah.
I think every season that anybody's been trying to do something like this, especially to someone who's in their 60s, 70s, 80s, like stop.
It's gross is the right word for it. Like it really is gross. And I say this as somebody who has been very pro Jag for a lot of the season. It's just there's a difference between talking a little bit of smack about somebody because you're annoyed, you're
Sure.
frustrated. Like that stuff happens in Big Brother all the time. And every single person who is left in the house has done smack talk. But there's a difference between doing that and then, metaphorically just kicking somebody while they're down. And that's what this is. It's pointless, it's meaningless, it's gross. It's also like you guys are three people. You don't need to try to sabotage Felicia to have a chance to beat Felicia. Like it's put me in a position where who I want to see win Final Four HOH now? Felicia. Like I want to see Felicia like wreck some people now, and I've been rooting for Jag, but it's just like what? I'm not saying Felicia is perfect here and that Felicia has never said
No.
anything bad all season. It's just I'm just so irritated by all of this that it would be really funny if Felicia is able to either win a HOH or the veto. And you never know. Like this last HOH, there was a chance that Felicia could have won that. It wasn't that physical. There might be
Yeah.
something coming up where she can do that again. I just, I hope that Jag and Matt get out of the house and realize just how gross and nasty this stuff is and like assess and apologize and realize they let all this stuff get to their head.
Yeah, for me, there's always been a difference of, talking trash behind someone's
Yeah.
back, talking trash to each other's faces. All of that just has been part of the game. But once you're starting to get into this sort of like banging pots and pans, keeping somebody
Yeah.
up all night, you're doing something that's an action that's like physical towards somebody, then I'm just like, I'm out. I'm out
Yeah.
on you.
Yeah. It's like ultimately, I'm not sure if they're going to end up doing this stuff
Nope.
or not, just because these people are kind of cowardly in a lot of the things that they have said so far this
Mhm.
season. So they may, but just like even just talking about it, like don't talk about it. It feels like production in a way too. If I'm just gonna, put the tinfoil hat back on here,
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
we've already specified if Matt is the quote unquote golden boy. It feels like production gave them cards to just give them something else to do so that they would stop talking like this and try to, because they have to have something to put on the show. And I don't know if production's going to go there and is going to paint some of these people, especially Matt, who's got the showman's edit and who has had a pretty positive edit. I don't know if they're going to try to cast him in a bad light on TV.
Yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, hey guys, you know what? For the last time you're here, you're gonna grill everything. We're just taking all these pots and pans. You don't need them for anything. Everybody's just gonna look at all this food for grilling.
It's, you know what, I would appreciate that, because one of my favorite things, we've had a lot of Hamster Watch shout outs as of late too, but one of my
Yeah.
favorite things that Dingo has always done is the hashtag barbecue smackdown,
Yeah.
watching the barbecues almost destroy people in the game. But okay, all right. So back to what's happening in the house right now. This
Mhm.
is Riley's ghost is popping up again in the background.
Ooh,
Oh.
it is Halloween.
Ooh, I was gone months ago. Okay, no, Cirie has already told Matt and Jag she has contemplated saying in her speech that months ago Riley told her to trust them, and she was glad that she did. I hope in every fabric of my being that Cirie says this on the live show, just to like completely make Matt and Jag feel like they're sort of throwing Riley under the bus by getting rid of Cirie. You do whatever you got to do, Cirie. It's not going to work, but go ahead.
No, but it's a good idea.
Yeah, Cirie's very smart. She's aware. She'll think of some stuff. It may be too far gone for her, but of course, Matt, being as arrogant as he is right now, like he's starting to try to act like Riley didn't really know anything in the game. That he was only there a short period of time. It's not like you modeled almost your entire game after Riley or trusted people just because Riley told you to. All of this, I know we have a jury house cam. I want the honest Riley cam where we get like the honest, unfiltered thoughts here. I don't know whatever she's thinking or doing. I don't really care, but you know.
No, it's really hard to know because the fact that she actually, like, I'm sure production came to her to write that letter. Like, I don't know where she was really feeling on it, where she's like, oh, maybe it'll get me a little more screen time. My name will be mentioned again. Oh, maybe I really like him. Sure, I'll do it. Or if it was really like a, hey, this would be kind of fun. Are you okay to do it? I guess so. You know, whatever, I'll do it.
Just really, the amount of screen time or discussion she's got after her eviction is unfathomable. But okay, Bowie Jane, since we're already talking about her irritation with people, she's already basically told Matt and Jag that, just, if I get power, tell me what to do. Do you guys tell me what to... Bowie, you are in the Final Four of Big Brother. If you win the Final Four veto and you have an opportunity to make a big move and you don't do it and you just get rid of Felicia... like, you deserve to be laughed at the final two. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. I don't care if you think you're revolutionizing the way Big Brother is played. I don't know if you really think that or not. I'm just saying that I'm so irritated with her. I just think you are doing absolutely nothing at this point. And yeah, we can try to justify some of the moves that you've made when you're HOH, but at this point, you have no competitive drive whatsoever. You don't want to. Why do you not want to win?
I don't know. I would take her to the end,
Yeah.
and that would be my whole speech. Listen, we're at the end here, and she's giving me the power when she has the power to make the decisions, and that's why I should beat her. Like,
Yeah.
you can't be this far in the game and just be like, "Tell me what to do. I'm the puppet." It's just like, what? Are you just playing for second place? And I know that sometimes that happens, and people do that, but just the same, like, why would you do that at that point? You know, you've won a couple things. If you also win this, you might actually be able to win it all. Like, why settle?
It's such a bizarre thing to do.
It's frustrating.
I know. I'm just okay. This is where we are, everybody, so far, and this is why we're so over a lot of these people at this point. Okay, Cirie seems all right after the veto ceremony. I mean, she's probably already had a little bit of time to process this in her head, and she seems more happy than anything else to eventually have the Jared secret out there, which I think is going to be really, really fun. I never thought I would say this, but shout out to Blue, because they showed it on this past episode. It wasn't on the feeds that Blue told Cirie, she knew, she figured it out, or Jared kind of clued her in on some of it, but she didn't say anything, and there was a real sense of like mutual respect between the two of them, and good for you on that, Blue. I have not said much else that is good about you, but at least you kept Cirie's secret. So
Yeah, she did. And I had always kind of wondered if Blue had actually gone to Cirie and was like, listen, I've known for a couple weeks, I've known for X amount of time,
Yeah.
and I've kept it. And I wanted to come to you to sort of, talk to you about that you can trust me, that this is a thing, Jerry can verify this, whatever it is, that, I'm not here to be like, hey, I know the secret and I can do what I want, but to be like, hey, I've proven myself and I'd like to work with you. Like there could have been something more.
Well, we're off right now to try to come up with the perfect HOH competition for Felicia to win. I don't know if this is like quoting some like TV shows that are of her time and hoping that only her will know the answer to the questions or
Yep.
whatever it is. Also, I must prepare for the vampire debut tonight during
Yeah.
the live.
It's going to be a pretty interesting transformation, guys. Like, you don't want to miss it. And we are not sharing this anywhere else. So if you're not at that live, it's a one-time deal, guys.
I'm I don't even, this is gonna be one of these things where I look at myself after all of this and I'm just like, who am I? What has happened here?
I can't wait to see it.
Okay, all right. Well, we have a link for the Patreon in the description. Thank
Mhm.
you to our patrons, of course, for your support. Hit that subscribe button and we'll see you guys next time.